So I'm going to do it slightly differently today. Riding in the forest is great. However, it's always into the wind home. So I'm travelling west this morning. Let's see if that makes a difference. Lots of traffic at the minute. And of course, cycling west does mean that the people coming towards you got the sun in their eyes for the first hour or so. Yeah. So we've got to be slightly careful, but it should mean I don't have that drag back into town into a headwind. Is he looking? Yeah, he's looking. Well done, mate. I mean, there was plenty of time, but even if he'd stepped out, I didn't really want to make him jump. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera off for a while because, let's be honest, there's none of this you haven't seen before. I'm just going through Pelhams. There's a gym on the right here. And I do sometimes think to myself, maybe it's about the right distance to ride to the gym and get a reasonable warm-up and then ride home again. However, I tend to get to this bit and think, am I stupid? Just keep going. Why would you start a ride, get warmed up and then not just keep going? Right, do you know what? I'm actually going to get in the right gear for this. You come downhill into it, and then you've got to go down sort of walking pace to get through, and then it's up the other side. And today, I remembered to change gear. Okay, car's cut across here, so I will slow down a bit. Which is a shame, because it's a nice little, you know, but you can't take the chance. Nice. So, just coming out the other side of Coal Hill now. Gonna head towards Witchhampton. I should be out of the worst of the traffic, but who knows? No guarantees. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe joining some group rides, because you know there are a few about in the week. There are also you know, people in the group that don't necessarily work days every week, so I really ought to make more of an effort to get out with people. But the truth is, I have a very specific requirement, don't I? Yeah, sort of 20 miles an hour on the flat, 5 going uphill. Where most people are much faster than me on the hills. So yeah, I sort of need to be quiet. Yeah, good. Yeah, F20 C5 ride. Because of course, especially road bikes or road riders, they like to do their efforts up the hill. Well, I'm the opposite. I like to do my sort of fast-paced endurance tempo, if you like, whatever it's called, I don't know, on the flat, and then sort of rest on the hills. and go up them at 5 miles an hour. So I am actually the opposite of a roadie, no matter what I look like. Obviously I'm only wearing the white shoes today to try and get them dirty and messed up. So I'm heading sort of north-ish, northwest at the minute, and I sort of feel a headwind, but I think most of it's just what I'm generating. 21 mile an hour. But in a moment we'll be turning left, and that means but one thing: heading west into the prevailing wind. And let's hope it stays that way. And let's hope I don't use up all my energy getting out that I can't get back. I don't think Julie would be very happy if I call her to come and get me from the deepest, darkest parts of Dorset. I know she's got stuff to do today. And I'm probably going to push it a little bit today. Not in speed, but distance. Since recovering from the cellulitis, I think 40 miles is probably the most I've managed. 35 to 40. So I'm going to see if I can do the full 62 today, 100k, and just see where we are. I don't think my fitness has dipped that much. I still feel okay on the bike, but I soon feel it if I try and push it a bit. So that's where the fitness is letting me down at the moment. So I think if I just take it easy, get the miles in, just stretch myself a little bit on the distance, that should help get that endurance back. I'll worry about the top end later. I mean, in all truth, when do I ever need top end? I don't race. I don't do anything that requires a sprint as such, other than when we're mucking about on the gravel and that. Sometimes we have a little chase, but you just can't do that sort of thing on the roads. So let's not worry about the top end too much. Yeah, so now I haven't got the protection from a high hedge to the left hand side of me as I was going north. I'm very much into the wind now. You can definitely feel it. I'm down to 17 miles an hour, but I feel like I'm doing 22. Whew. Wow. There we go. Let's turn again. Now I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to turn left. It's a very poor road, but it gets me out to Witchhampton without using the main road. I think it should be fine as long as I take it easy. There has been rain and that recently. It would have washed the gravel onto the road, but fingers crossed. Of course, it's chip seal. Nearly all the roads around Dorset are chip seal. Very slow, draggy. I'm always astounded just how much my sort of average speed goes up when we're in places like Mallorca. And it must be down to the road surface. Absolutely has to be. Maybe thinner air, warmer, thinner air. The excitement and adrenaline of riding your bike in a beautiful place, maybe. But I think mostly it's the road surface. Coffee shop in the waiting. So many horse boxes now converted to coffee shops. Right, this is where it could get a bit dicey. Traffic coming the other way. Very poor road surface and probably covered in dirt. Okay, what we got? Even on a gravel bike, take it easy through here. You can't see around the corners. And if you did have to slam on the anchors, goodness knows what might happen. But, can't hear anything. And actually it's pretty clean. I can hear something now. That's a plane. We're all right. I didn't see what it was. Whew. Slightly uphill and into the wind. That's unfair, isn't it? Just been reminded why it's good to wear glasses. A bee or something just bounced off them. Right, I do have to cross the main road, but better that than doing a half a mile along it. Right, got lucky there. I don't know if you can hear the trees, but you can certainly see them blowing about. But at the moment in the UK, you know, waiting for the wind to stop is like waiting for a day when it's not going to rain. So best just get out and get on with it. Might even bring in some extra handling skills, some extra balance, a bit more muscle work, and obviously the effort to push into it. So always an upside. Doesn't this look lovely? There's several of these around here. What were, of course, the sort of driveways into the local manor house. But, yeah, this one's nice. Not quite a tree tunnel. They don't quite meet in the middle, but still looks amazing. All right, Witchhampton. This is another of the bridges around here that they got the old signs on them. Yes, if you damage this bridge, you will be transported for life. Stood the test of time, hasn't it? Of course, before computer engineering and testing and things like that, everything was just built to last. These days, of course, a lot of things are just built to last 25 years. Keep it cheap. There we go. Okay, let's oh, swirly on the corner there. Car back. I'll do what I can, mate. Go on. Oh, look at that. Triumph Stag that actually works. That's better. Nearly there. Need to oil the pedals. Yeah, once the cleats get a bit of grit in them, yeah, they grind away, don't they? There we go. Definitely getting blown around here. Nothing behind me though, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, so the top of the rim on these 56mm wide wheels is pretty wide and blunt, so they're not too bad in the wind actually. Yeah, the other slightly older 50mm rims I had first on the Tri-Ban, yeah, they're a bit more susceptible. They're more pointed. You can definitely tell the difference. Yeah, they were the sort of prime entry-level wheels. RR50s or something, I think. RD50 maybe. And yeah, a little slimmer. But like I say, even though these are a little bit deeper at 56, they do perform better in the wind. Woo-wee. Car back, he's going to go through, I hope. Come on, get on with it, mate. Thank you. What are we, 55 minutes in? Now I used to enjoy a nice controlled effort up here, up to Tarrant Gunville. Sorry, Tarrant Rushden Airfield. World War II glider airfield. And but today I think not. It's sort of rolly all the way up, but predominantly uphill, but never more than about 3 or 4%, so definitely within my range, as it were, for putting in a bit of an effort. I find that once things go up to 5 and beyond, yeah, I just got to sit in, get a gear and just keep winding away. In fact, a lot of my PRs in this area were done on the Triban RC 500, so would I expect to beat that? I suppose I should. Lighter, more efficient frame on this bike, but of course the engine isn't what it used to be. Ooh. That were good. Whew. There we go. Just because it flattens off here doesn't mean we're at the top. Nearly there. I'm probably going a bit hard actually. Over 300. Anyway, downhill and recover in a minute. Whew. Yes, a bit hard. As you can see, road's starting to turn down now. Nice fast downhill here. And a fantastic view. Nothing behind me. There you go. Just amazing up here. Still nothing behind me. Right. Right, what we got? Absolutely nothing. Let's go. Very squirrely. Yeah, the wind is something else down across here, but that's okay. That was fun. Right, really heavy into the wind now, blowing through the valley here. I suppose you'd call it the Tarrant Valley. That is the Tarrant along there through the middle. Is it a river? It seems a bit small to me to be a river, but it's a reliable stream, let's say. It's always there and always seems to have water in it, or most of the time I go past it, it does anyway. Right, I'm going to turn the camera off for a bit, and we'll pick this up when I get to Blandford. Tarrant Keenston. Not Kingston, Keenston. K-E-Y-N. Morning. Yeah, lovely village. Part of a set of the Tarrants, all situated along the Tarrant. Yeah, lovely. Sometimes it's easiest gear, 400 watts. Right, just coming through Langton Long. Up to the Blandford bypass. We will, of course, go down under the road. And I will remember to change gear. So it's quite steep coming up the other side. Yeah, a lot of green moss here, so on the brakes. It's quite clean here actually, so probably not too bad on the corner. Right, up we go. Yeah, all good. Yep, good. All right. I think a cup of tea at Reeves. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Sorry, Chaz, but it's a chocolate hazelnut brownie today. Uphill into the wind for quite a long time now, actually. But then it's all downhill, tailwind, hopefully all the way home. So anyway, yes, chocolate hazelnut brownie. According to Chaz, that is about 500 calories. That block of goodness. It was lovely, I'll be honest. Yeah, cup of tea. And for once, this isn't a fasted ride. I did actually have breakfast this morning. And yeah, there's two ways out of here. Unfortunately, this is probably the nicest, but it's very steep at the start here. So, cafe legs. I'm just going for the bottom gear, and I'm chatting, so you know, let's not get silly. Yeah, so about 500 calories, 450 to 500. He's saying. For that brownie. So yeah, oatmeal this morning, so 30 grams of oatmeal porridge and 25 grams of whey protein made with water, 50 grams of strawberries, 50 grams of blackberries. But of course, because it's a morning ride, I didn't really get up early enough to have breakfast and ride, so I have felt a bit sluggish. Yeah, well, it's at the start there, but actually, as I was rolling into Blandford, I felt really good. Of course, cafe legs notwithstanding, I feel sluggish again now. I did actually sit for 10-15 minutes after consuming the brownie. So hopefully it's at least in there, even if it's not broken down, which obviously it won't be. But I guess I'll feel great just as I'm coming to the end. Just as I'm rolling in home, the brownie will kick in. Oh dear. It's something I do need to do. I don't need, I've got no need to do anything. I don't race, I don't chase PRs. Nice when they happen, but I don't chase them. I don't fit group rides. Oh, look at that. They're massive. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Yeah, so 30 grams of oatmeal, 25 grams of whey powder, impact, low calorie, whatever it is. I don't know. This is all new to me. And yeah, 50g of strawberries, 50 grams of blackberries. And yeah, that was my start of the day. So I've got about 1200, let's say, left of my daily allowance, but to be honest, I've burnt 2000 already today, or so I'm going to be still in deficit no matter what happens. Anyway, let's get to the top of this hill, and then it's up Bullbarrow. There's a little bit of rolling, and then it's downhill all the way. Nearly there. This is about 2 to 3% for most of it, so very doable. Big ring, middle of the cassette. 4 or 5 in places, but this headwind makes it a bit spicy, but still in 2-4, still sort of in the middle of the cassette, and rewarded with this and a downhill for quite some way actually. Nothing behind me, nothing for a long way behind me, or as far as I can see anyway. Have to be a little bit careful here. I can see early in front. Yeah, we're good. But this is sort of the main road towards Whitchurch. So, you know, cars can go along here at a bit of a rate, but the good thing about this road is you've got downhill in this direction, and you've nearly always got a tailwind when you're going back up the other way, so you can actually hold quite a good speed along here. So of course the speed differential between the bikes and the cars is not as great as it could be, and I always think it's the speed differential that makes things dangerous. So yeah, if we crack on, yeah, hopefully not too much trouble. Quiet today though, nobody behind me still. I am having to pedal against the window, but that's okay. Still managing 20 miles an hour. That's pretty good. If cars come along here at 35, 40, then it's not so bad, is it? Right, car just creeping up on me now. Long straight bit here, so I'll get over and hold my line. Yeah, nobody else behind him. It's always good to check, because of course if you've got two cars, one right up behind another, you don't always see the second one. Actually, today would have been a good day to use the radar on these quiet roads. Oh, hello, look at the Alpha. Very nice. Yeah, on these quiet roads, they do give you quite a good warning, especially when you're riding into the wind like this, because I can't really hear anything. Not just at the moment. Nothing there. I'm turning right. Let's take the lane. Nobody should be overtaken at the bend ahead anyway, so. Right, gotta go quite a long way around this bend before turning. Yeah, we're good. Right, he's going straight on. So is he, she, they, who knows these days. Yeah, it's a strange junction that, because you feel that the road you've just come down should continue, but it doesn't. There is actually give way lines, and this is the priority. So you do have to be a little bit careful. I've always believed, and I still do actually, even with all the things that Chaz and I have discussed about energy and calorie burn, but I do believe that actually, depending on the effort required, you need very, very, very little in the way of carbs. You need just enough, you know, just enough to keep everything ticking over while the body burns the fat. Obviously, if you've got, you know, 10-15% body fat, that's not going to work for you, is it? But I think, you know, if we're all honest about this, as we get older, even if we've stayed slim and in good shape, there's still extra body fat. And of course, that engine that we once had is changed. It's now about endurance. I certainly find that the lungs can't keep up with sudden sprints, explosive sprints, let's say. But if you give me a chance to wind up, I'll pretty much take on anybody, I don't mind. It's that endurance thing again, isn't it? It's letting the heart catch up and getting everything working together. Yeah, we hear all these numbers being bandied about, 100 grams, 120 grams an hour of carbs, but that's for the professionals, that's not for people like us. Chaz says between 30 and 40 grams of carbs an hour on a hard ride, let's say. Right, I'll tell you what, let's do that so I can keep talking. Actually, from this direction, this is the worst bit. Once you're up over that crest, again, it's sort of 4 or 5%. Not too bad. From the other direction it's like 20% all the way, so we won't go that way. In fact, going down is probably harder than coming up. Right. I think obviously companies that make gels and nutrition, they're trying to hit the middle ground, aren't they? The serious cyclist, but also appeals to the masses, and so they might do 60 grams in their packs, but of course it's still way over the top for most people. Whew. Car back. Right, start adding in some gears. I'm quite sheltered at the minute actually. Headwind's not too bad. Still gets me at the gates. Whew. Yeah, 3% at the minute with a headwind. 4. Yeah, it sort of fluctuates. Four, 4.5. Quite manageable though. Bit of a kicker coming up. Go back down the gears for that. Ooh-wee. Yeah, the wind got me there. Yeah, so if you want to go up Bullbarrow, this is definitely the choice. The view's the same when you get to the top. But there is a route we used to do from Shillingstone. So along the North Dorset Trailway. Actually, sometimes we'd go as far as Newton and then come up, but either way it's about 20% when you come from that direction, because you are going up the escarpment, while in this way you're just coming up from behind, you know, the bulge in the land, as opposed to the steep bit where the land lifted out of the ground. Oh, rain. Did say there might be some rain. What are we on? 10:30. Yeah, it did say mid-morning it might rain. Grey clouds up there. I do have my rain jacket with me, but I only bring it in case I get cold. Not too bothered about getting wet. And certainly no point putting it on going uphill. That would be ridiculous. So yeah, we'll just keep going for now. It's just a few spots in the air. It's nothing really. Oh, and when you're coming down from Bullbarrow, this is also the best route by far. By far. Yeah. Manageable corners. Yeah, gentle gradient. Yeah, 20% and blind corners going the other way. That's not fun. So what are we on? 6%. Back down to 5. Yeah. Floats about a bit. Flattens off again a little bit at this next crest. I do feel like I'm dragging that brownie up the hill. It's certainly not powering me. I think actually stopping there was a mistake. There is actually a cafe after the hill here at Milton Abbas, but I don't know how seasonal it is. I would expect it to be open on a Friday lunchtime. Probably for most of the year. Oh, that's hard work. It's flattened off and I'm hit by the wind. Alright, hopefully I can hide behind this hedge again now. So I'm making a point of staying in the small ring, middle of the cassette. It's one of those that I could be changing up and down at the front quite a lot, so I'll just stick with what I got. No prizes, definitely no PRs today. I will though, I think if things go well with the weight loss and the fitness, there are a few places that I might just come out and have a dig, see what's what. Am I turning back the years, or am I just getting healthy? I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. One thing I do know, well, I say I do know, I don't know for fact, but I went from physical work to desk work in my 40s. And when I look back on it, I feel if I'd have kept my fitness going through that period, I'd be in a much better place now. So if I've got any hindsight advice, which is totally uneducated, but through experience, I would say that fitness that you build through your 20s, 30s, 40s will put you in good stead through your 50s and 60s, so don't let it go. I know life gets busy in those decades, but don't let your fitness go, and keep it endurance, because that top end is good, but I just think endurance, carry that through, put aside a couple of hours a week. You know, it's important, and you don't realise how important until you get to your mid 50s, early 60s. Now, according to Garmin and my weighing scales app, my real age is 64, but I'm only 57. However, Chaz says don't take any notice of that, because the figures are skewed by weight, fat content and things like that. But he says, looking at the metrics that matter, you're actually very fit and healthy. So it's time to get rid of the weight, build on that fitness, and not worry about stupid things like, you know, physical age, health age, you know. So that's what I'm doing. That is what I am doing. Just looking at my average heart rate, because of course all these things come to the fore now, things I've never looked at before. I'm seeing my rested heart rate is around 50, and my average heart rate on days with exercise like this, big rides, it's around 128, let's say 130. And Chaz reckons that is good. He's saying for the amount of muscle and fat percentages, I'm doing well. So I'm okay. I don't mind. I'll be 64 if you like. I think the thing that worried me the most was muscle mass. And yeah, Chaz has got 3 years of data on that, and he says muscle mass isn't, yeah, I'm not losing muscle mass. If anything, I'm slightly gaining. So again, don't worry about it. Just get on with the plan. Stop worrying about things that don't matter. Let him worry about all that. I've just got to get on and do it. I was quite surprised about the muscle mass actually, but I suppose working at the garage for the last few years, lifting engines into the scrap bin, things like that, it's sort of a natural workout, isn't it? Things I probably haven't noticed I'm doing, and changing tyres, lifting wheels, flipping them over. Do you know what I mean? It's just stuff that I've been doing every day that I haven't even noticed, because it's just part of the job. Now of course I don't have that, so I've got 2 strength workouts a week. To be honest, I only tend to do one of them. I need to get in the habit of doing the second one. And there's a lot more movement exercises now as well. So Tai Chi a couple of times a week, just to keep the joints lubricated, moving, balance, that kind of thing. I've made it quite clear I do not want to be a bodybuilder. I do not want to be a power lifter. This is not the job here. I want to be fit and reasonably healthy, well, let's say for the rest of my life. You know, that's the plan. And hopefully, as a team, Chaz and I can do that. How long will it last? I don't know. It's down to me, isn't it? I'm the one doing the hard work. He's the one giving the guidance. And of course, I've got to ask the right questions, and I've got to be bothered to do the asking. So it is really all down to me. I need to make the effort. Whew. Starts to flatten off from here. Another little steep kicker, and then gradually back in the big ring. And yeah, we're there at the top. I think I'm learning a lot as well about how to use Chaz, how to ask the right questions. Hopefully not asking the right questions in a way to get the answers I want, but yeah, I do need to be open-minded, not steer him. And I'm also learning, yeah, the best way, what's important, what isn't. What do I just ask and delete? And what do I ask and keep? So today on my phone, quick check, calories in. I won't keep that information because I'll have logged it, and at the end of the week on Sunday night I'll upload all of it for the week, and I'll get my averages over 7 days. That includes weight, heart rate, stress, sleep, waistline measurement, which at the moment is 52 inches or 130 centimeters. And that'll all go into the spreadsheet for weekly averages. There we go. At the top, nearly. Flattens off nicely here into the big ring. Bum rest. Oh, sweat up here. Looks like I'm getting away with it. Nearly there, come on. Over the crest. And there we go. And here we are. This is where you want to be when there's an aurora. The only problem with that is everybody around here knows that. I think these roads sort of speak for themselves, don't they? There's not a lot I can add. Right, a little bit of a roller here. It is steep on the other side. But then we're going to head down towards Whitchurch. Then it's flat through to Bloxworth pretty much. And then there's one hill up into Litchett through to Upton, and then we're effectively back in town. I can pick and choose. I can even go down the beach today if I want, because of course the ban is lifted now that we're into September. Right, Milton Abbas. It's a lovely place if it wasn't so full of cars. Picture postcard, thatched cottages and that on both sides, but of course just cars lining the road, ruining the view. Oh, come on. Stood into the wind somehow. You can probably see the leaves are blowing this way, but it is going to be downhill next, and then we'll gradually turn. Yeah, here's the other cafe. I think I ought to do some investigation, because this is probably the better stop, stopping after Bullbarrow than stopping just before. We got nothing. Good, because it could get a bit wobbly down here. In fact, it just did. Right, thumbs on the thummies. Let's get a good grip. There's gaps in the hedges. It's quite disconcerting as you're coming into a corner. tucked in. Hey! Still clear behind. Whoa. Amazing. Still clear behind. I've actually got to slow down. Not quite within the 10% and 2 there. Oh, great fun. So there you go. That's Bullbarrow up and down. Right. Nice flat bit now. Yeah, I think I'm getting that reward now. Soft pedalling, 30 mile an hour. Yeah, getting blown about a bit, but but if he's going up Bullbarrow, he'll have the fun of coming back down, won't he? I've earned this. He's still got to earn his. Right, what we got? Still got time, still got time. Clear. Morning. Right. Another main road to cross in a minute. The Blandford Road. And then we're heading for Bloxworth. Morning. We won't be going into Bear Regis. Absolutely no future in that whatsoever. No, not from here there isn't, because you have to get on the main A31. And actually everything the other side of the A31 and 35 basically takes you through Wareham and Sandford. And to be honest, you want to avoid Sandford if you can. I know there's a bike lane, but there isn't one where you need it. So we'll stay this side and head up to Bloxworth. So this is Anderson. I'm guessing it's a hamlet. It's very small anyway, very few houses. But it's on the prison route. So I guess prisoners used to come in to Southampton, Portsmouth, Poole, maybe even Weymouth, and they were marched to Dorchester, where the prison was, and Portland, of course, was a prison. Yeah, and this is part of the prison route, and they're marked by red road signs. We'll see some of those up ahead at the main road. They still keep them. I'm sure they've been replaced over the years, but yeah, they still replace them with red ones. Nearly there, up to the crest. There we go. And there are the red signs over there. Yay! Tractors, farm machinery, anyone? Is that your thing? I think I'm definitely riding into the rain here. So I'm just about out of batteries, so we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining me. Give us a like and join me on the next one. I think I'm going to make the 60 miles today. That'd be nice, a bit of a milestone. I might have gone for the 60 miler too soon. I am flagging. We found gravel. Oh, the ice cream kiosks are shut. Oh well, probably for the best.